Hello, I'm Kabalamat, and this is episode 37 of Rule the Waves 2 Let's Play Japan. To recap, Japan is at war with Britain, and Japan is trying to invade Hong Kong. So let's play the next move. Carrier battle, battle in support of land combat. Again, let's hope we actually get a fight this time, except attack enemy ships in general. So here's Hong Kong. We have two groups. Our scout force, which unfortunately is behind our carrier force, has the battleship Yamato and 8 destroyers, so that's a good group. And then together with the carrier force, which contains these two carriers here, these two here, and this one here, so it's got 5 carriers. It also contains 2 battleships and 2 heavy cruisers. So what I'm going to do is the 2 battleships, the 2 heavy cruisers and some destroyers will be detached as another strike force, which will go that way. The main carrier force will probably go about this way, and I think the Yamato force will go this way. But the enemy are somewhere along here somewhere, so let's do the search pattern. So, I mean, the distance is probably about right. I'm going to bump it up a little bit. Okay, and for the Yamato, okay. So the Yamato's just looking straight ahead, and his other one is trying to look all over the place. So we'll give heavy cap to both of them because we can be fairly certain that the enemy are going to attack us. So let's rearrange our forces. All right, and let's start the battle. So this is the Yamato here. This is my other 2 battleships here. I don't know what this is and where it's doing. Oh, this is the Matorian Maya. So these I really want to be part of the Yamatichi. I'm going to move them towards the Yamatichi that way. Okay, and do we have any reports yet? No, we don't, but it's early days yet. And we seem to have found something. 5 CVs. And right, so that's interesting. So this Matorian Maya can go straight for them. The Yamato can also go straight for them. And these battleships here can go north as well. And my aircraft carriers can start going this way, I think. Actually, I think they can go that way for a bit. And it's calling an airstrike. And I think what I'm going to do this time is I am going to coordinate it, and I'm going to make sure there's quite a lot of fighters in it as well. And let's do the other one. And I won't do anything for my little aircraft carrier yet. I'll just leave those in reserve. If anything else turns up, they can fire at that. Okay, so he's got no tool, and he's got some extra stuff here. What's the other thing? Oh, that's just a TR, so that's not anything to be worried about. And we seem to have found them. Okay, so let's zoom in on my Yamato, and we've got some destroyers here which we're going to line ahead. These can go this way, these ones can go line ahead too, and they can go this way. So and they seem to be around here somewhere. Let's see what the most recent one is. It's about here somewhere. And I think he's probably moving away from us. So I'm going to call it an airstrike, and it's not going to be coordinated. I'll be round about here somewhere. Launch strike. Yes. And the reason for that is that they're just going to be harassed with. And let's do the other one. Launch strike. Yes. The idea is there's going to be lots of aircraft moving in all the time, and he's going to be under continual attack, and so he won't really be able to do much about it. After these come in, I've got lots of other ships that appear to be on their way as well. There's got these two heavy cruisers, which will be absolutely devastating ships against him. So, let's play on. And I'll switch my radar on. No. I think he's probably a bit further north somewhere. Yes. And we found them. Excellent. Right, we found the enemy. That's very good. So that means everything can move towards him. And let's get rid of these reports, because they're in the way. And let's see what we've got. I don't think they're all unidentified as yet. But since we're moving straight towards him, they won't be unidentified for much longer. He's got a load of CVs. Something like this actually happened in real life when at the Battle off Samar, when the Yamato encountered a number of American light aircraft carriers. What happened in the actual battle is that the Japanese didn't press the attack because they thought the Americans were stronger than they actually were, and they missed an opportunity to destroy quite a lot of American ships. However, we won't be missing that opportunity. Right, so 2 of my guns have been destroyed. I've been hit by 1 medium hit. I've fired 10 rounds. I've fired 58 rounds and hit 10 times. That's a hit percentage of 17%, which is pretty fucking good. Right. I think really I need to... I don't want to get any closer to them because of the problem with torpedoes. Mutsu is hit by a bomb and torpedo. These can go into flotilla attack. Nagano is hit. Courageous. So a lot of his ships are being hit by torpedoes now. I think my battleship's going to move round. How many hits have I scored now? I've been hit twice and I've scored 15 hits with 15-inch guns and 2 hits with 5-inch guns. Okay. And hit that destroyer looks far too close for comfort for me. So my battleship's going to go away. These are going to head them off. Massive his force. So I've made a pretty big mess of his force. Let's switch all these reports off. He doesn't seem to have any ship bigger than a heavy cruiser. He seems to have 2 heavy cruisers and a load of destroyers. So let's delete all those. And okay, so these are all actual ships rather than reports. These can go in here, and these ones can go in here. And I think it's time for me to launch another airstrike, because I'm sure I've got some aircraft left that can bomb his ships. Right. And he's probably going to make for Hong Kong. Well, let him try. Not by moving away from it, he isn't. Yes. Got everything. No tool. So, where are my ships? So these are my Megamis here. They will be hitting the British fairly soon. What's that? We don't know. And how's the Yamato doing? 2 medium hits, 3 light hits, and it scored 80 15-inch hits and 35-inch hits, so that's pretty decent. And that can start going this way. Right, let's have a look at my other battle group. So the Yamatichi's just been hit by a bomb and torpedo. That's caused some problems. It's caused structure and flotation problems. They've also been torpedoed. So that's not so good, but it just seems to be bearing up reasonably well. And where are my carriers? My aircraft carriers all over here. So let's move them towards the rest of my ship so they can give them proper air support. And what's this doing? So we've got these 2 ships here, and I think they seem to have mostly destroyers, don't they? We're down to 34% ammo. That's heavily damaged. I think I need to get in a bit closer because I'm running out of ammo and I need to make every round count. Now these can all go full speed ahead, I think. And my Yamato is getting very close to that ship, which is a destroyer, which it doesn't want to get close to. So it's going to do a runner. Hit by a torpedo. Hit by another. Well, that wasn't so good, was it? Let's get these into the rescue. Let's have a look at their gunnery performance so far. They've been hardly hit. But he's scored 41 9-inch hits and 12 4-inch. And the Mayor has scored 6 8-inch hits and 3 6-inch. So they're both reasonable performances. How are his aircraft carriers doing? Medium damage, heavy damage, heavy, heavy. I'm going to move these straight towards his aircraft carriers. How's my Yamato doing? It's been hit several times. And it is suffering from flooding, but it's not. The damage isn't vast, I don't think. I think it probably wants to slow down. I'm going to slow that down to 9 knots for a bit. There we go there. So these ships all look like they're done for. Put these in line ahead mode. How's Yamato bearing up? That's the flood. It's still flooding, but the flooding is not as severe as it was. So I think Yamato is going to be heading for port, which will be this port here. Is that Yamato? And let's get rid of the reports. We've got quite a lot of ships up here. All his ships up here are probably all quite badly damaged, though. I bet there's not a single one of them that isn't undamaged. That isn't damaged. And he's got one CV left, so everything's going to be going towards that now. All these ships of his seem to be sunk. Do I have any aircraft that I can use? Okay, that can attack that. This one. Yeah, so these are very much active still, so seem to have used up most of my aircraft by the look of things. Oh, I think that's pretty much all of his. So, all my ships are going to go this way. And that's the end of the battle. Let's see who won. So the British lost every single one of their ships except for a KE, and we lost 8 destroyers. So even on destroyers they lost more destroyers than us. And that was the heaviest ship we lost was a destroyer. One of our battle cruisers was heavily damaged. Let's have a look at that in more detail. Oh, and looking at aircraft, we lost 170 aircraft. They lost 323. 16 were air-to-air losses. 127 of ours were air-to-air losses. And that suggests to me I really need to give my attacking aircraft more of a fighter score. So, let's have a look at ship details. The Mutsu, the Yamato was heavily damaged with 3 torpedoes and 16 medium hits. Mutsu, 2 torpedoes, not really vast damage. Yamatichi, 1 torpedo and 1 bomb, not vast damage. Our other ships, none of our aircraft carriers were hit at all. Matori was lightly damaged by 6 medium and 1 light hits. But look how many hits it scored, 91. 91 9-inch hits. And Yamato scored 101 hits. That's a hit rate of 7.7%. Yamato, pretty much on its own, destroyed a very large proportion of the enemy force. So the ship that was heavily damaged was this destroyer, which was hit by 9 medium hits. But that scored 21 5-inch hits, and it looks like it fired some torpedoes as well. So that probably did a fair bit of damage to the enemy. So I think all my ships did pretty well out of that. So let's get out of that. So, Japanese major victory, gained 2 prestige. Battle of Pratas Reef. So the Rata has finished working up, so that's a new battle cruise that we've got in service. New destroyer. And we can secure even better terms if we crush them completely. A few more months will do it. Peace and victory. So we've gained some concessions and minor territories. Let's have a look. Naval budget reduced. Oh, so we don't actually win anything. Well, that's ridiculous. ASW torpedoes. better radar-assisted gunnery. Britain has crushed the rebels in Yemen. And so even though we won that battle and we sunk loads and loads of British ships, we don't actually get anything from it. Well, that's ridiculous. I'm sorry, but that is ridiculous. I'm not happy about that. Okay, well, that's the end of this episode. Slightly frustrating episode, given that we won all the battles but didn't win any territory. If you liked this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. And I'll see you all on the next episode.